Hallelujah. Praise the Lord, everybody. Praise the Lord, everybody. I know it's warm. We're going to give God some glory this morning. We are here for this exciting part two. Our, amen. Let's give our brother Cameron Winfrey a hand, a round of applause for his due diligence. We praise God for him. We praise God for, I was able to watch the replay, and I was so excited. He is my nephew. Not technically, but technically he is. So I'm claiming nephew status because I was so proud. I was so proud of just the way he portrayed his message, the way he allowed God to use him, and the way that um, it touched my heart because there was so much that I thought I was doing, and he reminded me that I'm not doing as much as I thought I was doing. So we just want to honor our pastor tonight, our first lady in their absence, and all those that are here in the sanctuary, those that are watching on social media. We're going to get right to it. I'm going to present to you, introduce to others, and present to you, present to some, introduce to others, our brother Cameron Winfrey. Yes. Oh, hold on. I got to pray first. I'm going to open up in prayer. And I'm asked, please keep my family in prayer. We lost our oldest sister today, so please keep our family in prayer. Gracious Father God, I ask that you would be with us today as we prepare to open our hearts, our minds, and our spirits so that we can hear what thus saith the Lord through our brother, oh God. We appreciate the opportunity, God, to understand more deeply what you require of us with these vessels that you've allowed us to have. God, we ask that you would help us to understand the importance of not just what we take into our bodies, but what we do with our bodies, where we take our bodies, that we would be good stewards of the health and wellness that you have in store for us, God. And we thank you for our dear brother and his passion and his heart to share from his experience, his expertise, so that we can grow in grace and knowledge of not just who we are in Christ, but who we're all as a body called to be, God. We want to not only act like Christians, but we want to look blessed. We want our bodies to testify that we are blessed. And we ask that you would use our brother to further that journey. We give you honor, praise, and glory in Jesus' name. Amen. Brother Cameron.
All right, try that again. Good evening. Everybody hear me all right? Everybody good? Okay. All right, so good evening. This is, again, week 2 of the Temple Project. So I guess once we get everything queued up, we'll get this going. Today we're going to talk about Nutrition 101. So this is going to add on to what we learned last week. We covered the basis of what a fitness program should look like. But today we're going to kind of get into the important facts of nutrition and I guess you can say the most important part of fitness, because without nutrition, we really have nowhere to go from a fitness standpoint. All right? So once we get this going, we'll get going. All right. So, again, this is week 2 of the Temple Project. Today we're focusing on practical fueling for everyday life. Again, this is Nutrition 101. I'm not asking you guys to take what we hear tonight and apply it and think we're going to have changes by tomorrow. Again, this is going to be something to, one, take note of, then slowly apply it into your lifestyle. Then you'll start to see it kind of build, and we'll, see the harvest of what you're, putting in, all right? All right, let's go ahead to the next slide for me. All right, so, again, welcome back. Last week, we covered awareness. This week, again, we're talking about nutrition. I put these 2 points on here because our focus, one, I want you to know food isn't the enemy. And second, food is definitely fuel, okay? We're working to rewire how we look at things. We're working to revamp what we hear about nutrition or food when it comes to taking care of your body. But hopefully we find some things that you can take and apply to yourself today, all right? All right, so again, today we're taking that first step in nutrition. We are not dieting, we're not starving ourselves, we're not cutting out every food that we enjoy. Again, we are simply learning how to fuel the body God gave us. So last week, we did go over awareness, just a review of what we talked about. We went over awareness, which is a big thing. Before we can even take the steps into getting better, we have to build awareness. We have to have the right mindset. The next thing we talked about was a big one, was finding your why. So finding your why is a big one, just simply because if I don't have a reason of why I'm trying to do this, or if it's big enough to influence me, there's really nowhere for me to go. So again, your why was the thing, and I'm telling you, it's going to make you tick. It's going to make you show up every day. It's going to be the thing that makes you want to get better, even on the days when we don't want to. It has to be something that is going to be obtainable. So for me, mine was my kids. I'm not sure what everybody else has, but you have to find something that is going to literally make you, all right, if I don't do this, then here's the end result, okay? After that, talk about awareness, found your why. Again, we have to identify a starting point or a baseline, okay? So with your baseline, again, we have to know where to start. We can't just take the first thing we see and just run with it. We have to get everything together, find a starting point, make it make sense to you. Then, again, we'll start to take those steps and continue to build on that foundation that we talked about last week. All right, so let's talk about fuel. Actually, slow down. Show of hands. I did give homework last week. Did anybody in here start tracking your water intake or tracking the food that we're eating or trying to keep an eye on what we're doing? Anybody show of hands? It's a couple, which is fine. I get we are busy, and I get it's very easy to keep running through. I do it often. I'm not going to tell you I sit here and write down every single meal that I take. That's not possible. All I'm asking you to do, again, is build that awareness. This is what is going to help you, again, just writing things down. It gives you accountability. It allows you to see what you're doing. Then, as we're building and going forward, it allows you to build on that foundation, okay? Excuse me. All right, so let's go to the next slide. Let's go to the next slide for me. All right, so talking about food as fuel. I don't know if you guys remember last week, I talked about the analogy of saying that your temple or your body is like a car. We can't just put diesel into any other car, any old car. You did it go well for you? No, exactly. So, yeah. So it's. I was hoping this would click for somebody, but yes, you cannot just put anything into your body expecting to be able to go on. I can kind of attest to that today, just because I did work out this morning. I cut the grass yesterday, and I didn't feel myself. So probably about 1 o'clock, I started sitting there looking like a zombie. My wife and kids were looking at me like, what's wrong with me? So I did have to take a nap, and I did have to fuel myself, okay? So again, we can't just put in anything and think we're going to get a grand result. That makes sense? So again, if you put diesel into a gasoline car, it won't perform well, and again, neither will your body, all right? So you have to be aware of what we're putting in. It has to make sense into what goal we are trying to achieve. All right, so when it goes into fueling your body, everybody talks about counting calories or tracking calories. When you hear the word calories, does that give, or does that make anybody fearful? Show of hands, a little bit anxiety, okay. Has anybody ever tracked calories before? No, okay. Which I'm not expecting a lot of people to, but honestly, if you are the type that likes to write things down, go ahead. But I'm telling you, for personal experience, I don't personally track my calories. I just try to make sure that I have enough to make sure I can keep going, okay? So the slide made it very simple. Calories equal energy, okay? I'm not telling you I need you to hit a certain number each and every single day. That's not what I'm saying. The average says the average adult is about 2,000 calories a day. Most people don't hit that. It's really not possible unless you're literally planning your meal throughout the entire week. But again, just because you hit 2,000 calories doesn't mean I'm going to have the fuel or I'm giving myself the right energy to move forward. It has to be good energy. It has to be good calories in order to have that energy or in order to, again, reach your goal. So, again, calories equal energy. The scale shows too little calories if you don't take in enough, if you don't eat enough. Like today that I experienced, I had low energy. I was ready to pass out, okay? So when you don't fuel yourself, you will definitely feel weak. You'll feel groggy. You won't have the energy to finish a workout. I mean, let alone just even sit still and do what you're doing now, okay? You will notice the difference if you are low on your calorie counts, okay? Second part to remember, too much. This is where gluttony or just taking in too much, okay? This is when we slow down, or this is when you gain the weight, okay? So it's kind of like finding a balance. You have to find a balance between the two, not too little, not too much, but trying to find a sweet spot to where, okay, I'm eating enough, I have enough meals. I have enough meals. Now I'm starting to kind of be able to make it through my days, okay? But again, this is just to make this easier, so when you hear calories, we're not just freaking out, all right? So again, calories equals energy. It is not the enemy. If you have too little, you have low energy. If you have too much, that's where that weight gain and everything else starts to come in, all right? All right, so one of my favorite things, well, honestly, not really, but as a trainer, we have to talk about macros, macronutrients, things of that nature. Has anybody heard that word in here before? Counting your macros, micros, you might hear people throw it out there. Honestly, I feel like it gives you a headache if you don't know what you're looking for. But a macronutrient, let me give you the definition of it. Macronutrients are essential for the nutrients your body needs in large quantities to function. So they provide the calories required for our energy. They are the building blocks to maintaining physical structure and systemic health, all right? So that means your macros are things like your proteins, carbohydrates, healthy fats, of course, water, and then again, your fiber. Now, we're talking about protein. I will go into more depth here in a second, but proteins, let's go back to that slide real quick one time. So your proteins, this is what repairs muscles, okay? This is very important when you're doing a workout. You're literally breaking down muscle tissue in order to build, so you have to put something back to help build that, okay? So again, your protein repairs muscles. When we talk about your carbs provide energy. So again, carbs are not not the enemy. The right carbs are actually your best friends, okay? It is very essential. Then we talk about our healthy fats. Our healthy fats support hormones and brain function. So again, all the fatty tissue, all these things, that is like an extra fat deposit or a storage for the nutrients within your body, okay? Then, of course, water. It supports everything in the system. We are 70% water. So, again, please hydrate, please hydrate, please hydrate. I'm sweating right now, so I probably need to hydrate, okay? But, again, hydration is key in order to do anything when it comes to fitness, health, or just well-being, all right? Please take in your water. Yes, go ahead. Mhm. Yes. So, two-part answer in case. You are not wrong putting flavor into your water. Now we just have to be careful in what type of flavors we're putting in, which we'll kind of talk about here later. But when it comes to the flavored water, yes, it's good for the flavor, but you got to figure out what's in it. Not everything in it is good for you. So they might add a couple things like dyes or just fake things to kind of help you. But those are the things that kind of throw off the flavored water. Now, if you want the flavored water with fruit, you can find healthier options of powders, but you, again, have to pay attention to labels and what's in it, honestly. So it is not a bad thing, but you are hydrating. That is the long goal. Yeah, but again, the water is going to do what it needs to do, but it's just those small things that are within the package that might get you in the long run. That makes sense? All right. All right. So let's go ahead to the next slide. All right, so again, I talked about your protein before. Again, this is what helps build muscle. So again, protein helps build muscle. It repairs your tissue. It keeps you full. Then it supports recovery. Now, when we talk about protein, I have a picture up there. It kind of has options or different things. You can find protein in many different versions. Again, it's educating ourselves on what type of protein is helpful, what type of protein can be harmful. Then again, finding that balance so we're not taking too much in. Sounds like a lot, but once you start to do it and it becomes part of your lifestyle, I promise you it gets a lot easier, okay? So some examples of protein, we have your chicken, your turkey, You can find it in eggs, Greek yogurt. We have fish, lean beef, some of the beans that we have. Then also, some people like protein shakes. Me personally, I don't do protein shakes anymore. I like to eat my protein. But if you can't eat all the food, I would definitely suggest find a protein shake that works for you. But again, pay attention to what is in it because not everything that is on the shelf is good for you, okay? Go to the next one. Let's go to the next slide. All right, so this next slide. First thing I'll say, carbs are not bad, okay? I know a lot of people in here probably can't stand bread. I hear it a lot. A lot of people think bread is your enemy. It's not the bread that's your enemy. It's the type of carbohydrate that you're taking in, okay? They are actually your body's preferred energy source, okay? So along with that protein, you have to use the carbohydrates if it's the right type of carbohydrate in order to go hand in hand to take that building block to build your muscle, to build the tissue, to build the things that you need in order to recover, okay? So that being said, carbohydrates, and I'll say healthy carbs, okay? Because again, we have fake things out here. We have processed carbs out here, and those things aren't gonna help you. It's the healthy carbs that will help. So when I say healthy carbs, these are examples like your rice. So your brown rice, jasmine rice, things of that nature, not with all the enhancements that you see on the labels. When it says enhance, when it comes to carbs, just put it back. That's the stuff that's gonna literally just stay in your system and not break down. It's a healthy carb that doesn't have enhancement, that doesn't have the dyes or additives that are going to actually help you, all right? So again, healthy carbs, your rice, you have potatoes, fruit, vegetables, so different vegetables, we'll talk about that later. Oatmeal, then when it comes to bread, whole grain bread, okay? So again, processed carbs versus whole food carbs. This is the big thing I want you guys to, again, know the difference of because I'll just give you facts on this, all right? I spend a lot of time just taking in information, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you, all right? When I say whole carbs, okay? Whole carbs are minimally processed and retain their natural fiber, vitamins, and minerals, okay? So meaning there is nothing to this. If it's bread, it's literally the bread, the dough, whatever else, the flour, whatever else we're adding to it. You had a question? Sorry. So potatoes, like your sweet potatoes, potatoes do have starch in it, but if you have the right potato without all the additives, I wish I had an example of it, but there are some that just aren't the best for you, like box potatoes, if that makes sense. So real potatoes, ones that come out the ground, stick to that. The box stuff, that's all the enhanced, all the processed things. Your minute potatoes, those things are not really good for us. They are convenient, but those are, again, adding those additives and enhancements that we don't need. So if you can stick to your regular potatoes, Idaho, whatever it may be, regular ground. Yes, sweet potatoes are perfect. We love sweet potatoes in our home. It goes a long way. You can do many things with them, all right? But again, those box potatoes, those instant potatoes, stay away from that. That makes sense? Yeah. Okay. All right. No problem at all. All right, so again, your whole carbs, it doesn't have anything processed. They retain natural fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Now, when we talk about refined carbs, these, again, are the things that are processed, which basically strip away these beneficial nutrients, all right? Even though they're saying it's okay, it really isn't, all right? Couple facts. Whole carbs, again, they provide the body with lasting energy while delivering essential nutrients. Because of their intact dietary fiber, they are recommended as a cornerstone of a balanced diet. So, benefits of a whole carb. It slows sugar absorption. It promotes healthy digestion. It regulates cholesterol. And it supports fullness, okay? So the whole goal of why we eat is try to feel full. So if we do it with the right food, when you feel full, you'll probably feel full with less. Does that make sense? So if it is the right things that we're taking in, if it's not processed, or let me back up. If we have processed food, a lot of times, since it is not real or you don't have the same fiber, we take it in an abundance. So, meaning we have to take in this giant plate of these instant potatoes just to feel full, but if I have a real potato, I may only eat one versus half a box, making it for the whole family. That makes sense? So, yes. So, it goes into the portion control, things of that nature. But again, we're trying to feel full. So, if I don't feel full, of course, I'm going to try to go back for more. So, but if I'm doing it with the right things, it will last. You'll feel it. Then again, you add that water on top, then you'll be good to go. So, some examples of whole carbs. I don't know if anybody eats quinoa in here. You have brown rice, rolled oats, legumes or black beans, lentils, starchy vegetables, again, like our sweet potatoes. Then whole fresh fruits. Again, these are our healthy carbs, whole carbs. When we look at the refined side of things, again, these are often called empty calories. Okay? So again, we're eating all this in, but it's not doing anything for me. It's just filling me up in the wrong places, if that makes sense. Again, these have gone through manufacturing process that remove the nutrients, rich fibrous parts of the food, basically like the bran and the germ in grains, leaving mostly easily digested starches, okay? So the risk with this, frequent consumption is associated with rapid blood sugar fluctuations. I don't know if anybody in here has blood or high blood pressure, things of that nature. These refined sugars and refined starches are a factor. They go into that. So when we take in this processed food, it's, again, hindering us more than it is helping. So again, it has a rapid blood sugar fluctuation. You have that increased hunger and a higher risk for type 2 diabetes and obesity, okay? So again, that is your processed carbs, your instant potatoes, those things that are very quick and convenient. I know we love to make things with the least amount of time. But again, in order to be healthy, you might have to carve out some extra time. Make time to make sure we're cooking a wholesome meal, okay? All right. Now, next part of this, we talk about proteins, we talk about our carbohydrates. Our next part is our healthy fats. Again, fats can be healthy for you. Our healthy fats help brain function. They help regulate our hormones, if I could talk tonight. They help they give you healthy hearts and helps with joint health, okay? So, examples of healthy fats. These are things like your avocados, olive oil. You have your nuts, which are plenty, different seeds, salmon, and natural peanut butter. Now, when it comes to healthy fats, you have two different types of it that come in. The first one is monosaturated fats. These, again, are found in your avocados, olive oil, almonds, cashews, and peanut butter. The second part is our omega-3 polyunsaturated fats. These are found these are found in fatty fish, like your salmon, sardines, and trout, walnuts, or chia seeds. So these two working together actually help you out a lot more than we realize. All right. So again, when it comes to these healthy fats, choosing things like olive oil over butter, swapping out lard for a liquid plant-based oil in your daily cooking. These are the small things that are going to help you because those artificial additives are what's clogging up our arteries, what's giving us cholesterol, high blood pressure. At the end of the day, I know it tastes good, but it's not always good for us, all right? So to build balanced meals, try drizzling extra virgin olive oil over something or over salads, snacking on a handful of raw nuts, or adding avocado to your morning toast. I'm not a big avocado person, but if you can, that is a great source of that fatty or healthy fats, all right? Any questions about that? Anybody? Yes. Now, again, These are the raw versions of it, not the ones that are salted. All right, you can have salted ones, but it has to be like a sea salt or something very light, not the ones, again, that you might find at the store that say the salted peanut, which has 326 grams of sodium in it. Yes and no, because in abundance they can be hindering, but if you need a snack that's gonna just get to you and it's not gonna hurt you, then yes. So we snack on sunflower seeds kind of to get us through the day some days, but this gives me that action of, all right, putting something in my mouth. So now I'm not snacking on fruit snacks or chips or things of that nature. But again, you have to kind of monitor how much we're taking in when it comes to that. All right? Yes. Okay.
When you talk about the peanut butter, you said the natural peanut butter. You mean
Yes.
the peanut butter that breaks down, or regular peanut butter?
So it's natural peanut butter. Again, it's all about reading labels. It, unfortunately, Jiffy I don't want to say a bunch of brands, but these peanut butters, they have so much more with it
Yes.
other than peanuts, salt, oil. That's all you really need in peanut butter. That's all it really is. But then they add all these extra additives to make it look a certain way, preservative, things of that nature. That's what's killing us, just being blunt. That's what's hindering us. So removing those things, we just found a peanut butter, I can't remember the brand, but literally the ingredients, peanuts, oil, and I think it's a little bit of salt. That's it. That's what it should be. It's going back to the basics and eliminating all the additives to keep it preserved on the shelf and those things. I can go all day about this, but it's literally those things that are killing us, all right?
So whenever you see the natural peanut butter
Please read the label.
separating, it's okay.
Yes,
It's
yes,
okay.
yes. And that is actually it's a great indication. Your natural peanut butter will naturally separate because oil's lighter than the substance at the bottom, which is your peanuts, all right? So that separation is perfect for you. So if you see that, that's normally your natural peanut butter. The ones that stay thick or stay the same consistency, that's the fake stuff, all right? That makes sense? No. And I feel for you because I used to love them, but no. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. And you asked, was there a substitute for it? I know. As much as you eat it, honestly, I would just encourage you to find a natural one. I mean, because if this is the protein that you're going to use that works for you, make sure it's good for you, and make sure you're not putting in a ton of bad stuff. And that's just really, peanut butter should be good for you. I get it, but you can add to that. You can, even if you had your peanut butter, you can find a way to drizzle honey. Like if you need to do something like that, find something to add that flavor or sweetness that you're looking for without adding the different additives or, the bad things that they're putting. So again, these are the things that a nutrition coach will help you with to, all right, here's a list of the good things that you can add to it to go with your peanut butter to make it healthier. But let's try to keep this one away and, try to get better with it. Does that make sense? And trust me, we do the same thing. They love peanut butter, but they love the natural one way more at this point because once you taste it, you don't want to go back. I promise you that. It's a big difference of the quality and the taste of it. It tastes like what it should. And unfortunately, we got comfortable with taking in all this fake stuff or enhanced things because it tastes good. But indeed, it's actually not good. All right? That too. Yes. They make a lot of the bad stuff cheap and easy to get to. So we have to go to different places and find ways to make it affordable for us, okay? Again, would you put a price tag on your health? Would you say something is too expensive, again, if this is something you're truly trying to do? So yes, it may cost a little more, but if that's what I'm taking in and I know that's going to be good for me, let me spend that money on it, okay? So you're going to have to do some investing. You're going to have to spend, but I'm not trying to break the bank. Trust me, I'm not having gourmet meals every day. We got 5 kids to feed, okay? So I got to make it make sense for me. So yes, we might spend a little more to get this natural peanut butter. I'm going to get the big one so it's going to last a little longer. But I know what's going into my kids. I know what we're taking in. It feels better. I'm just, yes, it's much healthier. But, yeah, I'm not going to encourage you guys to go break the bank. Please don't do that. But it's the education side of things that is going to help along the way, all right, knowing what's in it. All right. Now, keep talking about water. Water, water, water. Hydration equals performance. I can say it till I'm literally blue in the face, no pun intended. But drink before you're thirsty, all right? Meaning, I should be drinking water throughout my day. So I don't know if anybody in here has seen the cups with the hourly, checkpoints on the bottles. Has anybody seen that in here with your water? If you can find one, do so. If you can make it, if you can do cricket, do so. Make one. But this gives you the accountability side of things to know that every single hour throughout my day, all right, 10 o'clock, I'm drinking some water. And it has levels on it. So by 10 o'clock, I drink this much amount of water. There you go. So then by 11, here's my next set of water. You should be taking in water throughout the entire day because even though we can be sitting still, your body's still breaking down and using that water to break down everything we took in from the day before. It's fueling everything within your body. It gives us energy. It helps with digestion. It helps with recovery. It actually helps us focus because when the brain is dehydrated, we can't focus. That's a dehydrated state. Your brain shrinks. So, again, we're 70% water. So, we need it, okay? I said last week, try to get a gallon a day. I know that's a big number. Count it in ounces. Do little glasses throughout the day. If you have a small glass of water, all right, if I drink this between 6 to 10 times throughout my day, I know it sounds like a lot, but if I'm up and I go to the kitchen, all right, let me fill this cup up, let me drink this water, and finish it before I finish my show. You're hydrating, okay? But again, I just need you all to continue to bring in the water. I promise you it will help with everything. It cuts out the sugar. It cuts out just all the things that we don't need. It helps flush your system. Just trust me, water is your best friend, okay? Any questions about that, about water at all? I know we talked about flavor. Go ahead. Same thing, honestly, with the medication. All right, so she asked about medication. Even though I'm taking medication, drink your water. Yes, unfortunately, you might go to the bathroom more often, but it's good for you.
Things change.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You need to add some of that older people's stuff into this.
No, definitely understand it. But again, with taking your medicine, you still need to hydrate as we are doing it, okay? Yes, I know you might have more frequent bathroom breaks, but that means you're hydrated. You need to go to the bathroom. If not, we're not hydrated. It's made to come through you. I know, and it's going to add up. I promise you it's going to add up, and that's the unfortunate side. Yes, you will go, but that is good for you. You're hydrating. You're flushing your system. You're pushing that water through your body, and at the end of the day, the medication will flush through. It will go where it needs to go, and if you're sitting dehydrated, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to do what it needs to do, nor break down, if that makes sense. But again, I get we will probably go to the bathroom more, but it's beneficial, okay? It is beneficial, all right? Did I answer it for you? No? Hey, let me grab the mic.
Okay, so I've already asked about the flavoring packets in the water, but what about liquid IV? If we don't intake a lot of water, is that good for you or is that not good for you?
So
it does have sugar in it, and it's more of a Gatorade, which has lots of salt and sugar.
Yes. Again, it can be good for you if you monitor it. Like I've drink liquid IV if I'm literally in a pinch. But again, they add different things to it that hinder it. Yes, it has the salt. Yes, it has, or I said that sodium, the salt, the potassium, different things in it. But it's the other dye, the different things they're adding to it to give you that flavor that are taken away from the nutrients that are actually supposed to be in there. So, again, like your liquid IV, your Gatorades, these things, yes.
Gatorade is actually really, really bad for you, actually.
Yes.
So a lot of
Yes.
people don't know that. They think because it hydrates you, but it
Exactly.
actually has so much sodium
Yeah.
in it that it's actually really bad.
Yeah,
So
so the dyes, the sodium, these things are what's going to kill you. Now, one trick we used to do, and I don't know how many people can do it, but our source, when we were dehydrated, we used to drink pickle juice because of the salt that's in that, everything that's within that, it helps hydrate your body. We are actually more hydrated when we take in salt, but it has to be the right type of salt. Sodium is what helps hydration, okay? But again, we have to pay attention to labels, which I'm glad you're kind of talking about because that's our next slide.
okay, cool.
But it's, again, paying attention to what is on the back of it. Just because they say it's healthy doesn't mean it's healthy. Please, please, please read what you are putting in. It may have a temporary, gain, or you might feel good, but if we're drinking this in abundance, that's when you start to have that hindering or issues with it. Yes? What was it? Yes. We used to do it. I'm telling you, we used to keep it on the sideline because you can take all the Gatorade and the water, but in that moment, if you need that salt right now, that's what's going to keep your muscles from cramping. So a lot of people will do like diluted salt water, things like that. But the pickle juice, the way that they make it, it literally just gives you that electrolyte, or what electrolytes typically are, the sodium, those things, the carbs within it. That's what's going to help your muscles not cramp. So I would say if you can stomach it, that's a quick source of a Gatorade. Now, if you do like Gatorade, I've been trying to learn how to do these things without adding all the additives like dyes or things. So if you want to make a healthy Gatorade, you can do things like coconut water. If you add coconut water, add a pinch of salt, then you can add fruit or a lemon or something like that to give you flavor, whatever it may be. That's a quick source of electrolytes or a Gatorade, what Gatorade should be. That makes sense? Yes. It's not bad. It's just when it comes to anything that they are producing, they can add anything to it. That's the bad part about it. They can label it as anything, but again, just because it's on that packet doesn't mean it's really in that packet. So it's just making sure we know what we're taking in. But, I mean, you're not wrong for taking, if you need to, again, take a liquid IV, I do. But I'm just saying, if you needed to, by all means, at the moment, yes. But if you're looking to cut down in the long run and to not take in the dyes and additives, I wouldn't use all the pre-made easy stuff. Anything that's fast is usually not going to be good, if that makes sense, when it comes to nutrition. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you can always, if you have to have that, add more water to it. Again, it's going to be more bathroom breaks, more everything else. But if you add more water, it's going to dilute the things that are in it. But then it makes it better. You're getting more water in, but it's just giving you that little flavor that you needed. That makes sense? Okay. All right. Now, next slide, reading food labels. This is a big one. It is a very big one. So again, when we read, actually, who in here actually reads their food labels when they go shopping? I got a few hands. Here we go. Okay. So this is a good thing to do because, again, they can put anything. Oh, I won't say anything, but they can put a lot of things in that are harmful. But again, the more that you know, or the more that you educate yourself, the better off we will be going forward with this. So, reading food labels, it gives us an opportunity to, one, look at a serving size. Most boxes do, or all boxes should, have a serving size to know how much of this should I take in per serving, not just the whole box. they do kind of give you directions, so pay attention to that. So a lot of times we like to make the whole packet. It actually tells you sometimes half the box is a serving. You know, realistically, I know we don't always do it. But again, it does give you the information of what a healthy serving size would be of these products. Then if you're tracking calories, it gives you a calorie count. So the example up there has 100 calories. If you're adding that, you can add that to your list of things that you're taking in. It gives you how much protein is in it. It gives you added sugar. Then, of course, my favorite part, and the part my wife hates me to read out half the time, is the ingredients. And this is the most important part because you can have all these numbers on there, but then once you read the ingredients, I'm here for, let's say, what, rice or something like that? I shouldn't have to have more than just rice listed as my ingredient. So I shouldn't have enhanced this, that, the third, starch, you know what I mean? All these things that, yes, words you can't pronounce. If you start to see words you can't pronounce, that's those processed things that are not good for you, all right? So, again, we're checking our serving size. This is all the information on the label based on the specific amount. Basically, 1 cup or 55 grams. These are examples. If you eat twice the listed serving, you must double the calories and nutrients. These are things that you think about, but I won't get too far into that. But again, when it comes to reading labels, the more you educate yourself, the more, or the easier this becomes, just because you start to know what you're bringing into your body. You're not just consuming any and everything. You want to be strategic with what you take in. So again, I'm trying to eliminate, and I'll say it again, enhanced or bleached or these labels that, again, are going to harm us in the long run, all right? All right, so portion control. This is a good one. All right, portion control. Who in here actually portions out their food? Yeah. And I'm guilty of it too sometimes. But rule of thumb or an easy way to do it, I'm not asking everybody to go out here and purchase a scale. That's not what we're doing. We're not measuring our food. One of the easiest things, you can find this online. They're on different websites, health websites. I grabbed one on here too. But rule of thumb for people, when it comes to portioning your food, 1, your palm. I don't know if you guys ever seen this. Your palm is your protein, okay? So again, the palm size of your hand, this is the amount of protein everybody should have. Now, everybody has a different size hand. So again, this is made to you and your body. This is what makes it personal to you, all right? So my portion is not gonna be your portion, all right? So again, protein, if you're looking at the palm of your hand, circle the palm of your hand. That should be the amount of protein. I know we don't always do that. We sometimes want that 23-ounce steak or whatever it may be. That's when it becomes abundance and glutton, all right? So we have to pay attention to how much we're taking in. I did put some facts if you guys want that. Again, when you talk about your protein, enjoy 2 palms worth of lean protein each day, all right? Again, that is about 3 ounces of what that protein would be. The next thing would be for your carbs. For your carbs, that is a cupped hand, okay? So this is like taking an estimate, or this is like measuring, but this gives you the amount that you would need. It's literally just a cup, a handful, all right? Now, when it comes to vegetables, portion, they say it's your fist size. We were actually at the doctor yesterday, and they said the same thing. Your fist size is what your protein, or your vegetables should be. They usually say 2 fists of vegetable a day, but this should be the biggest portion on your plate. I know a lot of people don't like vegetables, but again, these are the most beneficial. They are very fibrous. They don't have a lot of additives, but these will be your best friend if you can find it, okay? When I'm talking about vegetables, yes, your green ones, and some people don't like green, but the doctor told us yesterday, if you can just take 2 green vegetables that you like and add 2 other colors to it, all right, just find 2 other ones other than green, If you find those 4 vegetables and eat that consistently, that can count as your vegetable size, okay? I'm not asking you to go eat every single thing. If you only like broccoli, if you only like carrots, that's fine, but just try to switch between those, try to portion those out. But again, the more vegetables you take in, the better your nutrition or dieting will be, okay? The last one, I believe, was our thumb. These are your healthy fats, okay? Like your olive oils, your, I'm going blank, olive oils, your, the avocado. I'm sorry. These are the things that are going to, again, help us in the long run. I know portion control is a hard one. Not everybody can sit here and count out and measure every single thing we're putting in. This, again, is just to show you what the standard is, and, again, just to build that awareness so that we can start to monitor what we're taking in and not do it in abundance, okay? Again, if we're taking in, or let me back up. If we are taking in calories, we have to find a balance. Remember, too little, we're not getting enough energy. Then when we have too much, this, again, gives us our weight gain. This gives us our weight gain. This gives us all the other issues that we run into, okay? Because it is not portion, it is not controlled. Oh, I got a visitor today. Oh. I know my little helper, Mina Blue.
Where do the fruits come in?
Okay, yes. So fruits go in, it's kind of hand in hand with your vegetables. So you want more vegetables than you do fruits. Fruits can be good for you, but then if you have too much, that's when it becomes an issue because fruits do have sugar in it. Yeah, fruits do have natural sugars. So we can't just say, I'm going to eat a ton of fruit, make a straight fruit smoothie, and it's going to be good for me because now I'm back at the beginning with all the sugar, okay? So if I'm going to eat my fruit, add some vegetables to it, kind of switch it up to balance that out. Again, we're trying to balance out our diet. Just because it's sweet and it tastes good, again, doesn't mean it's good for you, all right? But by all means, eat your fruits, eat your vegetables, find ones that are good or that you like. I'm trying to think of examples. I'll come back to that. But again, if you were to look at a portion chart or a plate, a lot of times your vegetable chart will be the biggest one, all right? After that, you have your carbs. Your carbs be the next size, then your proteins, vegetable, or then out of that portion between carbs and fruits, the fruits are slightly smaller, okay? So again, it's not bad for you, but you don't want to eat those in abundance. Don't just stick to a fruit diet and think you're going to be okay. And I know everybody heard the craze of the watermelon diet, and I know a lot of people are doing the watermelon diet. Again, it can be helpful to you because watermelon is, 80% water, but anything in abundance can be harmful after a while, all right? Anybody have questions about that? All right, so again, if you want to download that chart or just find a chart, honestly, just look online and look up portions, hand portions. Honestly, type that in on Google. They'll give you that. You can print it out. You can hang it out on the wall, and it'll be a good reference points when you are cooking, so you're not having to measure out cups and different things of that nature. All right. Now, when it comes to building our meal, okay, or meal building, every meal should include our proteins, our vegetables, healthy carbs, healthy fat, and again, your water. So when it comes to fruits and vegetables, again, they go hand in hand. Fill half of your plate with this, okay? So vegetables focus on a variety of colors. When you look at that, focus on a variety of colors, include mostly non-starchy options like leafy greens, broccoli, peppers, or carrots. When it comes to fruits, add a serving of fresh, frozen, or canned fruits, which are packed in water, not syrup, okay? The syrup is what they like to add to it as a preservative. It's not good for you, but again, it should be in water. Fruits are made from water, okay? So again, those syrups and things, stay away from that. Now, why it matters, they provide essential vitamins, minerals, and dietary fiber to keep your digestion on track. These are the things that are going to help you go to the bathroom. Again, the more you go, the more healthy you are, okay? We're not supposed to just go a couple times a day. These are the things that are going to keep our systems moving and make it more frequent, okay? Now, again, fruits and vegetables, that's half your plate. Second thing to focus on, again, those healthy grains or whole grains. Fill about a fourth of your plate with these, okay? This, again, is talking about the portion size that you probably see on portion charts as you look. Now, choices with these, opt for complex carbohydrates, okay? So these are things like brown rice, your quinoa, oatmeal, whole wheat pasta, or whole grain breads, okay? Now, I'm saying whole grain because once you look at things like your white breads, those things, that's when you start going back to that word enriched, okay? Whenever it's enriched, it is processed. It is not good. They're adding things that are going to hinder us. So whole grain means usually it's going to be the oats, the flour, salt, whatever else you make to make bread. Nothing else is added to it, okay? The whole grains will be your best friends. So why it matters, whole grains deliver steady, sustained energy, which keep you feeling full longer. Again, I don't want you guys to run from bread. You just have to find the right type of bread to take in because carbohydrates are definitely one of the main building blocks to being healthy, okay? Now, once we have our vegetables and fruits and our carbohydrates, now we'll talk about that protein again. So we're talking about that palm-sized portion. Again, this is about a fourth of your plate, all right? So these choices are lean animal proteins. So your poultry, fish, eggs, those things. Or if you want to try plant-based options, you have beans, lentils, tofu, and edamame. Some of those I don't eat, but again, if this is what you need, you got to make it work for you, okay? So again, our protein is vital for our muscle repair, cellular health, and overall, just health. I mean, it helps us, okay? It gives us the energy we need to function. It goes hand in hand with the carbohydrates, again, if it's the right type. And these are just part of the building blocks that gives you the foundation to a good, healthy diet, okay? Then again, that last part, our healthy fats. Again, your olive oils. These things are going to help you. Let me back up. These are things like your olive oil. So use healthy cooking fats like olive or canola oil in moderation, okay? So again, we're being conscious about how much we're taking in, not in abundance. Again, a moderated version of it. Avoid things like trans fats and try to limit butter. Yes, we still cook with butter in the Winfrey house, but we're eliminating things like salted butter or these fake butters like the tub butter or I don't want to name brands, but some of these are not real butter. The margarine, those things, it's not real, okay? These are the things that are going to build up and block arteries and not break down the right way, okay? So, again, if you can try to cook with things like olive oil, canola oil, we sometimes use vegetable oil a lot when we don't have those things because olive oil can cost about $10 nowadays. But these are the things that are going to help you, one, get healthier, two, eliminate all the bad additives that we are fed daily, okay? Then the last thing, again, drink your water. If you don't like water all the time, you can do unsweetened tea. You can sweeten it with certain things, but again, be careful what you're putting in. Or black coffee, all right? Coffee isn't bad for you, but again, in moderation, all right? Don't just drink coffee all day, every day, and think that's what's gonna keep you going. Eventually you're gonna crash, you're gonna be dehydrated, okay? But again, drink your water. You can do unsweetened teas, black coffees, add fruit to your drinks. These things are what's gonna help you continue to stay hydrated and continue to stay healthy. All right. Any questions about meal building? Is everybody good with that? I know it's a lot of information to take in. Today's going to be a ton of information, but hopefully you guys are taking notes because this is what's going to help you going forward. All right. Now, I put this screen on here because I hear a lot of these as we go about our days, just nutritional myths or things we hear. just as we go out throughout our days. So, first one, carbs make you fat. Yes, the wrong carbs can make you fat, or they can hinder you, but depending on the type of carbs you take in. So, the fact, simple carbs, like your cookies and candy, these things lack nutrients and can contribute to your weight gain. But focusing on those complex carbohydrates like whole wheat, those are the things that are going to be beneficial. Your whole wheat, beans, fruit, they're packed with fiber, vitamins, minerals, and essential for your body. Second myth I put up there, low fat or fat-free means healthier. It does not. That does not. So, a lot of times, manufacturers will often compensate for a loss of flavor in low-fat items by adding high amounts of sugar or artificial ingredients. Everybody following that? So just because it says low-fat, fat-free, doesn't mean that's what it is. It's not. They hide it in labels. So again, please read them. Please read. So focusing on those healthy fats. So your avocados, nuts, olive oil. Again, these are essential for hormone production and nutrient absorption. Last one, second to last. Eating eggs raises your cholesterol dangerously. Actually, I had my wife tell me that the other day because she said she heard it from some relatives. All right? Which is like an old myth's tale. Eggs are actually good for you. Again, we just boiled a ton of eggs today and everybody ate pretty good. But again, it's monitoring how much we take in. Anything in abundance will, again, be harmful to you. So, and I keep saying that because even though, yes, I can say I'm eating healthy or I'm taking in healthier things, but again, it's finding that balance and not going overboard to where I'm starting to gain weight. So, we don't want everybody out here looking like bodybuilders, okay? They eat in abundance, 3,000 plus calories a day. Yes, it's healthy, but they're gaining weight. There's a goal with that. If you're here to lose weight, we have to find that balance and find out, and not take in too little, so I'm not having everybody in here like zombies. But again, finding that balance so I can be functional, I can feel better, I can function better, all right? Everybody following that? All right. Trying to make sure I got everything else. All right, then, that last one. You must eliminate all of your favorite treats to lose weight. No. All right. I put that up there because I know people love to snack. I still have things that I still like. I am guilty, and I tell people I am a realist when it comes to fitness. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't like my sour candy every once in a while. Every once in a while, I like donuts, okay? These are things that I like still, all right? But the big part is I'm doing it in moderation, okay? I might reward myself if I'm working out all week, meal prepping. Maybe Friday is our cheat day. Maybe, in our house, Friday we do pizza. I'm not telling you can't eat. I'm not asking you to give up everything. Again, it is doing it in moderation. It is monitoring how much we're taking in. I'm not telling you to go eat pizza every single day. Then, of course, we're going to look like what we eat. But enjoy your foods because if you don't, you're just going to quit your diet. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't eat healthy all day, every day. Sometimes I might need my sour candy to give me a little extra kick for the day. But, again, it is in moderation, okay? Just enjoy life, enjoy the things you like. But, again, moderation will be key, okay? All right. So, any questions about that? About that last one? Everybody good? Okay. So, next one, eating on budget. Again, I'm not asking anybody to break the bank, okay? I'm not having a luxurious meal plan for the week. I'm not asking you to have salmon and all these imported, everything else, okay? You need to make this make sense for you because if you're going to truly do it each and every single day, it has to fit into your lifestyle. So, I give some examples of things that won't break the bank, okay? Healthy doesn't have to mean expensive. So, yes, eat your frozen vegetables. They're cheaper, okay? A lot of times we can't always buy fresh. Especially now, we talk about fresh stuff. You have things going on. But, again, these frozen foods, these frozen vegetables, they are your friends. They're still vegetables, okay? You have your rice, not your minute rice, Those are enhanced. But actual rice bags, they're cheap. Yes, it's going to take more time to make it, but I'm eliminating all the extra things that go with that quick rice, okay? We have your beans, your eggs. Now, eggs might be a little pricey today, but eggs used to be pretty cheap. But these are the things that are going to help you do this without breaking the bank. You have your chicken, Greek yogurt, tuna. I don't know if any guys like tuna. Yes, the canned tuna is actually pretty good for you. It's just, again, making sure we're not eating the ones that are in, the syrup or whatever it is that they put it in. They do have some with water. But, again, read those labels. Make sure you're not just taking in whatever they just have there. Just because it says tuna doesn't mean it's always tuna, okay? So please, please, please read those ingredients. Now, on to the eating on budget. We like to shop at places like Aldi, where we kind of have a little difference in price. It's not as expensive as your big chain stores. Another trick we do is we actually use AI to shop with a budget. So, meaning, if my budget this week is $80 for my groceries, I'm going to go ahead and use my AI, ChatGPT, whatever it's going to be. I'm going to type in, can you make me a meal plan for this week using the $80 budget, using whatever X amount I'm trying to eat this week. But it will literally list a plan of different meals you can get under $80.
You can actually
And get,
put what store you shop at.
yes, so you can add the details. Again, make this stuff work for us. Make it easier. I'm not asking you to go out here and make a grand plan. It has to make sense in order for you to do it. So use these things to help you. Or if you don't want to do it, ask somebody who can. Again, we're trying to simplify eating healthy. We don't want people to be afraid. I don't want this to be something that gives you anxiety or a headache. Then the second thing we actually started doing again, don't be afraid to grow your food, okay? We started planting vegetables. We actually got to eat green beans, lettuce, and different things this past couple months. We actually survived the last month off of my garden, okay? Because it's rough out here, okay? But I'm telling you, get back to the basics. You don't have to go spend $20,000 at a Whole Foods or other big chain stores like that to be healthy. They are found. They might be tucked away. You might have to find it. But if you just got to go back to the basics, make it make sense to you and your household, okay? All right. Yeah, go ahead. Milk. Okay. So I usually don't talk about milk because, yes, it's listed on there, as you tend to hear people say you should have a healthy intake of milk or things like that. For me personally, I don't drink milk because it bothers me. A lot of times, and I'm going to say this how I say it, a lot of times cow milk, it has things in it that aren't really made for us, enzymes, different things that don't help us. Yes, it has an amount. Yes, it's helps your bones, helps things like that, but in the long run, it wasn't made for us. That's just honestly what it is, and that's how I present it. We're not made to drink cow milk, technically. Now, you can substitute things like almond milk and oat milk. I like those things because, one, it takes away the lactose in the milk because a lot of people can't do that. A lot of black people can't do that, okay? Lactose is one of the things that does affect us. But, again, your doctor will say drink milk, things of that nature to help kind of coincide. But it is in moderation. You can drink 2 cups of milk, but they're not telling you to drink the whole gallon in one day, okay? So I know we have people that like even chocolate milk, things of that nature. Yes, it's milk, but that chocolate is fake. It has different additives. They add different things to keep it from going bad. So it's one of those touchy subjects. Like, yes, if you can drink it, by all means, enjoy it. You know, it's not going to hinder you. But for me personally, I just don't deal with it, honestly. Yes, so silk, oat milk, those things. But even with and I hate saying this, but even with the silk and things like that, again, the additives, those things are what's going to get us in the long run because it's low fat and fat free. That makes sense? Yes, sir.
Back in the day,
Mm.
people ate a lot of things.
Yeah.
But people were busy, they worked,
Yes.
stuff off. Now people eat, they
Yeah.
eat these things and they sit around.
Yes. Yes.
Not active,
Yes, doing this all day. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, you are very true when you say that. Y'all worked way, way harder than what we did. But yeah, we're not moving, we're not doing things that we used to. Yes, but also back in the day, we didn't have all the processed things. Your food might have been more pure. It's coming from the farm. It's getting to you quicker. It's not having to get through this factory and nobody's touching it. So it makes a big difference. Yes, I definitely get it. Yes, but it's a big difference today with how we take in foods, all the processes. We have a new process almost every week. It feels like. But this is why we're trying to educate and learn about these processes. Yes, ma'am. And there you go, that preservative. Now, here you go. So that is another thing to look at. We even talking about milk, talking about your produce, big difference we learned. So she said your milk back in the day would last, a short amount of time. Now they're trying to date it out to 2 weeks or whatever it may be, a month, whatever, too long, more or less. But if it's real, it's not going to stay that long. It has to be at a certain point. Eventually, science is going to take over. Mm. You don't? Yeah. Which is fine. But again, these are just options. So if it's for you, definitely use it. If not, it is okay. There's other and plenty of things for you to do. Again, you just got to make it work for you. All right? I'm not saying you have to eat every single thing on this list in order to be healthy. Just find a couple things that work for you, okay? So even if it's just I have my bag of frozen vegetables, and that's my vegetables for the week, if I'm meal prepping that with my protein, then I add my grains to that, my rice, my white rice, that's a meal plan. I'm not asking you to, again, add these expensive or just take everything in. It's the small things that are going to help you with this, okay? Any other questions? Everybody good? Okay. Oh, we're way off. Okay. All right. Now, again, progress over perfection. I'm not asking you to eat perfect, okay? Again, try to eat 80% better. Again, this means most of the week I'm trying to have this healthy meal. You can have that cheat day. It's okay. All right? It's okay to have a cheat day to reward yourself for doing great. But we can't have a cheat day every day. All right? Enjoy the cake, but don't eat it every single day. All right? Then consistency. The more that we continue to meal plan, the more that we continue to build on these things, that's what's going to help you become healthier. All right? You can go ahead. All right. So, again, these are our simple nutrition habits. At the top, again, drink more water. Continue to take in that water. One thing they tell us is to, if you can, try to eat your protein first, okay? And I say this because eating protein first, it stabilizes blood sugar. It controls your appetite. It prevents overeating because you're going to feel a little more full. And this meal sequencing strategy slows down stomach emptying and carbohydrate digesting. These are tips that nutrition coaches will give you to kind of help you curb your appetite, okay? Try to cook more, okay? The more that you cook, the more we can control what we are actually putting in our bodies. We have direct control over ingredients. It helps you be healthier, helps you take in fewer calories. Then again, we're taking away all those additives and preservatives, okay? This gives us a chance to have an upper hand and control our narrative. Again, read those labels, educate yourself on what you're putting in. Look out for those words like enriched, bleached. Those things are what's killing us. Try to eliminate that from your diet, and those are going to help you in the long run, okay? Then the last one, eat more whole foods, okay? By prioritizing these foods, you can manage your weight naturally, significantly lower your risk of chronic diseases like heart disease and type 2 diabetes, and it supports a healthier digestive system, okay? Again, I want you guys to understand the more you go to the bathroom, it's very good for you, okay? It's supposed to be daily, and that's both, okay? So The more you go, you need to go, all right? If you're not, that means you're backed up with all that fake stuff. And you need to hydrate some more, okay? This all goes hand in hand to what a healthy nutrition plan should be. All right, so again, homework. And this is, I'm not asking you guys to bring it back with all right, I did it. I just want you to get into the habit of tracking what you're putting in, or just, again, building that awareness. Track down how much water you have. Try to be conscious about how much water I'm taking in. Monitor our proteins. Again, if you can, try to eat those first to try to curb your appetite. Then again, just try to build healthy meals. Try to include all those things, your grains, fats, vegetables, fruits, proteins. Try to build a healthy plate. Don't just put one giant piece of one thing and think it's going to fill you. You're just eating in abundance at that point, okay? Again, this is a no judgment zone. I'm just building awareness, and these things will help you continue to build each and every single week. And the more you do it, the more it becomes part of your lifestyle, okay? All right. Any questions for me? What was it? Again, I can go all day about these flavored things, but again, read those labels. No, you're good. But again, reading labels will take you a lot further. I know, and again, I'm not asking you to quit it, yes, but just try to be more conscious about it, okay? And if you can substitute for your fruits, substitute and find things that you like.
In my flavor packets, what should I be looking for? The sugars, the red dyes, things like that?
Yes, so again, a lot of times in those, they try to eliminate those big words that are bad. So you'll see red dye usually tucked away at the end of your ingredients. Most people don't get to the end of your ingredients because you just see the front part. Okay, I got what I'm looking for, my sodium, my carbohydrates, or whatever else is in it. But if you read to the end, sometimes they'll have that blue dye, red dye. These are the things that are going to get us in the long run, hurt us, and back us up. That makes sense.
And the first ingredient in whole wheat bread, it says it.
Yeah, it definitely says it. Whole wheat, yes, it will definitely say it, yes. And again, enriched, bleached. Put it back. That's what's going to get you, because that stuff's not going to break down. Honestly, it's not going to break down in your bloodstream. That's how you get the type 2 diabetes and things. It aids us. Unfortunately, it's made cheaper for our communities and things of that nature. But again, the more we educate ourselves, the more we can kind of take the ball back into our court and control our narrative, all right? Any other questions for me? Everybody good? Hopefully that helped this week. Again, this is just Nutrition 101. I am more than happy to start coaching you guys on this if you would like. Again, I'm still learning as I go. I don't have it all figured out. Yes, I've been focused on this for years, and it may seem easier to me just because this is kind of all I do at this point. But you got to start somewhere, okay? Start somewhere, even if it's just monitoring that water for the week. We're starting, okay? Get your water down, up your water intake, then come to somebody else like me who can help you start to build that meal plan, okay? Who can help you take that next step. But those baby steps are what's going to help you put everything together, all right? I think that is it for this week. All right, that's it.